I tried to warn and tell you guys, you thought the last 2 days were crazy, but it's just getting started. Yes, the Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma situation, it's a big mess and it's only going to get messier. However, what people are failing to realize is that is a start to a huge domino effect. Matt, what are you talking about? What do you mean by that? Let me explain. Lincoln Riley leaves a top tier program in Oklahoma to join USC. And what that does is it opens up another top tier program for head coaching rumors. If you think Oklahoma's going to settle for a no-name head coach, you're wrong. They're going to go after a big-time guy. Then what's going to follow that? It's going to continue to happen. Another job's going to open up. You're going to get more rumors about that. Another big-time coach is going to leave. It continues to go on. It's almost like deja vu. It doesn't just stop there. LSU, like USC, I would say the USC job is more appealing, but LSU can pay a lot of money. As to when I'm currently speaking, what do you know? LSU just hired Brian Kelly from Notre Dame. And it's kind of similar to Lincoln Riley and what he did. I'm going to show you some messages from Brian Kelly. I'm going to show you some stuff where he snaked over his own coaching staff and recruits. There's some more stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to touch on all of that. But real quick, you guys liked the last time we double uploaded, so I figured, hey, why not? If we can get this video to 500 likes in 2 hours, we'll double upload again because we want to talk about college football on this channel. So drop a like for your boy. Hopefully I see you guys again tonight and we can talk about something else I have planned. You're going to want to hear it. Also, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you join our family, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. Lets me know you guys are enjoying the videos. Without further ado, let's get into it. In yesterday's video, I talked about how Lincoln Riley pulled a Kevin Durant on Oklahoma. If you don't know what that means, Kevin Durant, he snaked over Oklahoma City and went to the Warriors. Brian Kelly has somewhat done the same thing. I wouldn't say they're ideal situations. I think Riley's is much worse, but Brian Kelly did not handle it any better. It was announced last night that Brian Kelly would be named the next head football coach at LSU. However, it wasn't made official till this morning. I've given a lot of credit and talked about how passionate Oklahoma's fan base is. I am from the South and I gotta vouch for him. LSU's may be more passionate and more crazy. I said more crazy. That's not even a word. Crazier. You get what I'm trying to say. I'm not taking anything away from Oklahoma and their fan base, but LSU, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, they eat, breathe, live, and sleep football. I've never seen anything like it. You'll have people camping out and tailgating for the games starting on Wednesday and Thursdays. I've seen it. Hold on. It's not quite as simple as, oh, Brian Kelly's a new LSU coach. It's a little different from what happened with Oklahoma and Lincoln Riley. You see, Oklahoma, they were out of the playoff. It doesn't matter. But Notre Dame and Brian Kelly at the time, they still have a legit shot to make the playoff, and he left the team out of nowhere. I said it when I spoke about Riley. I'm never going to fault a man for taking a better job. I'm just not going to do it. You can say what you want, but that's how I feel. If somebody's willing to pay you more for your craft that you're doing and you're specialized in, who wouldn't take the job? To put it in a better perspective, for some of my younger viewers or even older viewers, let's say you work at Chick-fil-A and you make chicken patties and they're paying you $25 an hour. But let's say Zaxby's hits you up, which is also a chicken place in the South, and they say, hey, we'll offer you the same job, same hours, but we'll pay you $50 an hour. Who wouldn't take that? You can say what you want, but it's the exact same thing we're seeing with Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly. They're going to be doing the exact same job, but getting paid more money. The whole contract hasn't been worked out and released just yet, but it's speculated he's going to be making $15 million a year. Let's take a look at this tweet right here, and this is what I was speaking on. Quote unquote, I'm old enough to remember people scrutinize players who sat out their bowl games to protect their professional futures. Keep that same energy with Brian Kelly, who leaves Notre Dame as they are in the midst of vying for a spot in the college football playoff. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't believe Notre Dame's going to make the playoffs unless some complete chaos happens because nobody wants to see them make the playoff to get curb stomped like they do every single season. It's more of the principle. Notre Dame still has a shot, whereas Oklahoma, they have no shot. When all this news was breaking last night, I was watching it very closely because I want to know what I'm talking about when I speak on it, and I didn't think too much of it, to be honest. I was thinking, you know, he probably had a meeting with the team, said his goodbyes, there was no hard feelings. And well, boy oh boy, I couldn't have been any more wrong. I'm going to read this tweet off to you, and you can do what you want with this information. Matt Fortuna, hope I'm saying that correctly, said, this is usually how these things go, but Brian Kelly has ghosted everyone at Notre Dame. Just spoke to one of his assistants who saw reports on his phone tonight as he was exiting a recruit's home. Here's what the assistant coach said. Quote unquote, the news broke when I walked out of the house, so I look like an effing a-hole. That's pretty embarrassing and disrespectful to his staff that he had his own members going out and recruiting kids while he was working out the contract details with LSU. I understand not addressing the team until it's official, but he didn't even have enough decency to tell his assistants what was going on. And then to top that off, he was having his assistants go out there and do recruiting for him when he knew he was going to leave. I want you to really think about how messed up this is. You had a recruit going into a kid's home telling him all great things about Brian Kelly and how he's going to be there next year, this and that. He walks out of the house and the news is breaking that Brian Kelly's leaving. He looks stupid. I don't know who the recruit was, but you can almost guarantee he's not going to Notre Dame because he can't even trust them. That would be the exact equivalent of you going over to your friend's house and talking highly of your girlfriend, saying she would never leave you, how great she is. You go home and it's announced on Instagram or Twitter that she left you for another dude. That's literally the equivalent of what went on in that situation. I'm not a Brian Kelly fan. I'm not a Brian Kelly hater. Don't really care about him too much to even form my own opinion. But I'm disappointed in anybody that would do that. At the same time, here's how I look at it. I'm going to put y'all on some game. Money runs and it rules the world. If somebody tells you otherwise, they're wrong. If you think money doesn't rule the world, then look at what happened when money was involved with two of the big-time coaches in college football. Money was the key piece and the key factor of what went on in their decision. In response to everything going on, you had a tweet right here. These coaches have a sickness. Why can't nobody be up front? In reply to that, Dan said, well, if the other job doesn't work out, is one reason why they aren't up front about things. Do you tell your employer you are interviewing for other jobs? My boy Dan's got a point. You can't lie about that. We're not done just yet. So when it was rumored about Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame, he didn't have time to address the team for a meeting, so he texted him this last night at 10:08 p.m. Men, let me first apologize for the late night text, and more importantly, for not being able to share the news with you in person and that I will be leaving Notre Dame. I am flying back to South Bend tonight to be able to meet with you in the morning, but the news broke late today, and I'm sorry you found out through social media and news reports. I will have more to share when we meet tomorrow at 7 a.m., but for now, just know that my love for you is limitless, and I'm so proud of all of you that you've accomplished. Our program is elite because of your hard work and commitment, blah, 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 blah. I will share more in the morning when we meet. Again, my apologies. I kind of summed it up at the end because, you know, it's him playing this nice act. I am going to say that text message, it appeared sincere to me. Like always, there's going to be mixed emotions. Michael on Twitter said, I wouldn't let him back on campus, mail his you-know-what to Louisiana. But there was more breaking news this morning. According to Shooter McGavin on Twitter, to show there's no hard feelings, Notre Dame's players have asked Brian Kelly to join them tonight for a going-away party at the 9th Green at 9. That's a troll. That's not a real thing. If you don't know who Shooter McGavin is, you can look it up. I did find that kind of funny because I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw that and I was like, what in the crap is this? Not only has Brian Kelly been trending, you also got the offensive coordinator at Alabama, Bill O'Brien, trending as well. More than likely, he's going to get a new coaching job after this year, and as an Alabama fan, I couldn't be any more happier. Everyone wants him gone. Just look at this tweet right here. College football team fires head coach. Alabama fans, Bill O'Brien would be a great fit. Right now, I've been seeing the speculations that he could be Virginia Tech's head coach or also Notre Dame's head coach. I'm not too sure who would get him or who the favorites are. In all seriousness, he's a good coach. Whoever gets him, they'll be lucky. I've also been seeing rumors of Luke Fickell, who's Cincinnati's head coach, training for the Notre Dame job, and I think that'd be even better. I don't see Fickell staying too much longer at Cincinnati. They're not a Power 5 conference, and they can't even come close to paying him what other schools will. Cincinnati fans, you can say give him a blank check. He's not going to leave, yada, yada, yada. Hate to break it to you, he's out of there. If he doesn't leave for a better job, I almost question his sanity compared to what the money he could be making. I wouldn't be shocked if he stayed at Cincinnati, but with all the new job openings, it'd be hard for me to see him not going somewhere else. Last thing, before we end this video off, I want to touch a little bit more on Brian Kelly. How do I think he's going to do at LSU? Well, for starters, he's in the toughest conference and the toughest division in the country. You're going to have to play Nick Saban every year, Lane Kiffin every year, Jimbo Fisher, Mississippi State. It's gonna be tough. You also got Tennessee with Josh Heupel, who's on the rise and has one of the best offenses in the country. The other two teams, Auburn and Florida, I'm not too sure what to think about them. I don't think they have great head coaches. He'd be okay with those teams, but still, beating Auburn and Florida, it's not easy. I'm not an LSU fan, so some of you watching this video, let me know your thoughts. Realistically, what are you expecting out of him? If you're expecting him to come in and put up a 10-2 season off the bat, I don't even think that's being a realist. I think he would be lucky, and it would be a great season for him to go 8-4 or 7-5. Y'all may not think that's good and you're not okay with that, but you gotta understand, you're in the toughest division and conference out there. In my opinion, I'd expect him to go 8-4 or 9-3, something like that. Let me know your thoughts down below. But with all that being said, it's gonna wrap up this video. If y'all want to see a double upload, 500 likes in 2 hours, we'll do that tonight. Talk about some Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma stuff. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.